Hi, I'm Brian Russell. Welcome back to class. I want to discuss with you briefly some of the better commentaries on the book of Exodus so that if you want to purchase materials beyond the one required commentary for the class, which again was Exodus by Terrence Fretheim in the Interpretation series, go ahead and get some other ones. I do have a bibliography available for you. I also encourage you to make use of the resources in our library, especially the online resources through Asbury Scholar. If you don't know how to use Asbury Scholar, there is a video embedded in the class to show you how to do that, where you can find scholarly literature on Exodus or on any passage in the Bible that you're studying. And also there would be available some full text or portions of electronic versions of commentaries. So you do have resources that are available to you. Now let me show you some of my other favorite commentaries. One of the best commentaries on the book of Exodus, and actually one of the finest commentaries ever written, is the book of Exodus by Brevard Childs. You can look it up. I'll have everything listed down in the notes. Brevard Childs' commentary is over 40 years old, but it was groundbreaking, and Childs covers Exodus from a historical critical position and then begins to present his canonical approach. So this commentary literally changed the discipline in some ways, and everything he says is well worth your time. Now, in terms of some excellent evangelical resources, let me show you a couple of things. Previously in this class, I used to use the Word Biblical Commentary on Exodus written by John Durham. This commentary, as all the Word commentaries, is extra helpful. Durham has his own translation. He has annotations to his translation, a bibliography for each passage in Exodus, and then he has a review of critical issues, and then excellent exposition on the text itself. So you'll find Durham to be a helpful commentary as well. Another excellent evangelical commentary was written by Victor Hamilton. This Exodus and exegetical commentary published by Baker. Some of you may know Victor Hamilton was a long-serving professor at Asbury University, which was across the street from the seminary campus in Wilmore. Good man, and this commentary presents Exodus from an evangelical Wesleyan perspective. Peter Enns has the Exodus volume in the NIV application series. He again writes as a evangelical. Enns has his roots in the Nazarene denomination originally, but he was teaching at Westminster, so this tends to be kind of a reformed commentary in some ways, and he also is a critic of liberation theology in this commentary. It's not one of my favorite ones, but you may find it helpful, and you may like the format of the NIV application, which does some intentional reflection on the meaning of the text today in the way that it lays things out. Now let me show you a couple of other commentaries that are outstanding and worthy of your time. First, let me mention two shorter ones. This is a very strong commentary that comes out of the Peace churches, the Mennonite tradition, Waldemar Jansen's Exodus commentary and the Believers Church Bible commentary series. I almost consider this to be an evangelical commentary as well. This is one of my favorite shorter commentaries, and it's surprising in many ways, very penetrating in its theological understanding, and this would be one that would be worthy of your purchase if you're looking for maybe a cheaper volume. Also, another short commentary which is quite good is James Bruckner. He teaches at North Park Theological Seminary, and I think this commentary also approaches Exodus from more of a conservative position, and you can oftentimes get the commentaries in this series at an affordable price. Again, it's not super detailed, but it's very helpful. Now, if you'd like to look at the book of Exodus from a liberation theology perspective, this is the premier one written by George or Jorge Pixley, Exodus, a Liberation Perspective, or actually it's called On Exodus, a Liberation Perspective. You may not agree with his hermeneutical approach or how he reconstructs the text, but if you're interested in a critical commentary from a liberation perspective, a Latin American perspective, this is a helpful volume, and again, it's the most prominent of the liberation commentary sections on Exodus. Now let me show you a couple other excellent resources. This is volume 1 of the New Interpreter's Bible Commentary, and in fact, if you buy this, you get 3 commentaries. On Genesis, Terrence Fretheim wrote that from our required author for Exodus. Now, the Exodus commentary, quite good. It's by Walter Brueggemann, who is one of the most prominent American Old Testament scholars and theologians from the last century, and he's remains active, though he is getting up there in years now. He's retired, but he still writes a lot. So if you want to read an excellent commentary by Brueggemann, this is a good volume. And then Leviticus is written by an evangelical, Walter Kaiser. So this is actually a pretty strong volume worthy of purchase. You can get on its own. This is volume 1 of the New Interpreter's Bible. If you'd like to read a critical commentary on Exodus, this is 2 volumes. This is the Anchor Bible Commentary. It comes in 2 pieces. Here's volume 1 by Williams H.C. Propp. He is a Jewish biblical scholar, and you'll get if you want interested in getting a critical reading of Exodus, this is one of the most detailed volumes that you can have a look at. I recommend it. And then a last resource called Book of Biblical Theology on the Book of Exodus, Theology and Exodus, Biblical Theology in the form of a commentary. Donald Gowan goes through the passages and reflects on reading Exodus theologically as a biblical theology through a variety of lenses, and you may find this to be a helpful volume. Again, there's lots of other resources on Exodus. These are some of my top choices. Again, you can feel free to ask me questions. I'll have this listed out in the notes below, the specific data on how to purchase these. And you can let me know if you have any doubt about whether or not you should be using a different commentary on Exodus. But these are some of the ones that you can look at, and perhaps you may choose to buy some of them ultimately to build up your own library. Again, I'm Brian Russell. It's my privilege to serve you this semester, and I look forward to seeing you soon again in class.